Tag Show.
The Mixed Tag Show.
With Jenna and Blue.
Damn.
Now, here's your host, Jenna and Blue Magic.
Yeah. What's up?
What's up?
You're listening and watching the Mixed Tag Show with
Jenna and
Blue.
yeah, we got a.
Oh, I was supposed to make it awkward because apparently that's the thing. Like, there's an awkward silence, like pause. Okay.
Yeah.
So you said you were gonna give me the answer.
Oh, would you like to ask me first so that people can know?
Well, I did ask you.
But they
It's
didn't
not
hear it.
authentic if I ask it again for the show.
Because I'm about to answer, it's gonna sound weird. They're like, "What are you talking about?"
I'm pretty sure a lot of times they don't know exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah, but let's help them out a bit this time.
Okay. So you think I'm addicted to coffee now?
Why?
This is so staged. Because I'm sleepy and I had Starbucks.
No, probably didn't have enough caffeine.
Hello. So that means if you don't have
Oh
enough.
well, yeah, your body's starting to adapt to it. It takes more to hit you.
Exactly.
So yeah,
Oh no, I don't want that. Whatever. How was your
that
week?
sounded staged. Oh no, I don't want that.
I don't. It's real life, son. It's real life. Anyway, how are you?
I'm good in yourself.
I'm okay.
How was your week?
Okay.
Do anything special?
No. Actually, yeah, I went to a couple of concerts with my mother. You know, some oldies concerts.
Mommy daughter days.
Yeah, she missed your girl. 'Cause, you know, I was out running the streets at all these different like wrestling
SummerSlam and
shows.
stuff.
Exactly. So you know, but who doesn't love to be around me, huh? 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 Ah.
Right.
What about you? How was your week?
it
Nope,
was-
you can't find anything, so stop stalling. Go ahead.
Anyway,
Mhm.
it was cool. I had my son this weekend. Haven't seen him in a while as well.
Yeah.
So he was more so like, yeah, I haven't seen you in a while.
Hey,
So,
man.
you know,
Yeah.
it was a good little bonding time this weekend
Good
with
for
my
you.
son.
Look at the little smile on your face.
Yeah, I enjoyed times with my son.
Good. That's good to hear.
He's hilarious, as you see. I send you videos all the
He's
time.
a very funny
Yeah.
young man.
And I'm ready for this week.
What's happening this week?
I'm all in.
Hey, look at you.
Start driving today.
Did you get my ticket?
No, because you said you had your Drake and Migos concert
Oh,
to
yeah.
go
Damn, I forgot.
to. So we starting to drive today. So after
Yeah.
we record this, I got to be out.
Yeah. So I have to do all the editing?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna edit it and just
Okay.
leave it be with you.
Okay.
But yeah, we driving today. 13 hours. Nice little road trip with G.
Wow.
I got a surprise for Nels.
Do you have What do you have? Why do you have a surprise for him and not for me?
Because he's undisputed. I'm not doing this right now.
First of all, we're how many episodes in?
We're like 26. This is 26. right?
So when do you surprise me?
I surprised you.
Okay, it's been like mad months ago. You know what?
We're not doing this
Whatever.
right now. We're not doing this right now.
Whatever. Anyway, shout out to the Jobber Tears podcast. We had a fun episode last week.
Yeah, we did.
I didn't get.
It was
I got-
hot
Yes, it was super hot. Like
with all those people around. It was hot.
you could see me just
Small room,
right.
smaller room than we usually in. We were
Right.
just sitting there like, woo,
just like this.
and all that talking.
Yeah, but it was fun. Definitely fun. Like different discussions going on, and
Right.
what have you. I didn't have to listen to you, so that was pretty good. So shout out to them. Hopefully, we can do some more in the future, in the
Yeah.
near future at that.
Near future, we do some more collaborations.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Jabba Tears podcast.
Yep.
Wilkes, Janelle.
Yeah. And Mr. Black, you forgot.
He didn't
it.
come.
Oh yeah, because
He turned on his brother.
he sure did. But
He
you
pulled the
have,
cane.
but it's a group, right? So you have to kind of like still,
How you want to break kayfabe?
we're not breaking kayfabe, but we got to shout him out too because
Well, I don't know if he's still part of the fam or not.
yeah, but just because Wilkins went heel,
Wilkins didn't go hill.
he
went,
did.
No, Mr. Black went hill.
No, he didn't tell him the right location.
That was retaliation though.
Is it?
The hashtag is Hill Janelle, Hill Mr. Black.
Okay, so Sir Wilkins is the baby face.
Yeah. See, I got your back.
We boo faces here apparently. So, but yeah. Speaking of which, well, this has nothing to do with the other, but you know we got to plug in the WWE shop.
Great transition.
Thank you. Shout out to them as always for keeping us fly. You have on the, I guess a vintage Seth Rollins
Burn it down.
Burn It Down shirt. You should get that for the soundboard.
Burn it down.
Burn it down. Yeah.
Okay, add it to the list.
And I have this Ricochet shirt. You know, I gotta represent the new.
And only.
Gotta represent the North American champion. That's still so. I'm surprised I actually said that and I didn't mess up. It's so weird to.
Right?
Right?
But you got to get used to it. Just like the mixed tag show. It took us a while.
It took me a while. You got it right off the bat, but for me, it took a while. But yeah, shout out to the WWE shop. If you want all the latest merch, don't forget to click our link. It's provided in our social media. If you watch our videos instead of listen, it's provided in the description on YouTube. And this week they debuted
some new Bella
merch. So we'll obviously get into the Bella twins because they made their in-ring, well, not in-ring, but basically they made their return back to the WWE, looks like officially.
Yeah, they got a nice little match coming up.
Couple of matches.
Yeah.
So shout out to them. And let's get into the draft. I know that's
draft
for everybody.
Time. That's why I need music for the draft. Boom.
Yeah.
Da-na-na, da-na-na.
Exactly. That's what I wanted you to get. Exactly.
Da-da-da.
All right, as you guys know, listeners and watchers of the show, we are in our second season of our fantasy wrestling draft, right? So we have currently 7 teams that are participating. The Knight Riders, which is Astro.
Petty Club Worldwide.
Which is Joey. Undisputed Nation of Domination, Phil. TK Crew, TKO. New Generation X.
Rich Fam,
Kev, and Evolution Leah. So I don't know if anyone peeped the order, but that's essentially how the order went this week. So Knight Riders got a total of 269 points.
For this week alone.
For this week, right? Petty Club Worldwide got a total of 184 points. Undisputed Nation of Domination, 178. TK Crew, 158. New Generation X, 101. Rich Fam, a total of 4 points.
Dang.
And Evolution, a total of 1 point. Leah, I don't know, man. I was rooting for your team. They were really good picks.
It doesn't help that now Matt Hardy supposedly.
Right. So with that said, if people are aware of our point system, if you have anyone that's injured or if a team has broken up, you can replace that team or an injured superstar. So, yeah, Astro's in the lead with a total of 537 points.
And the back of the line is, unfortunately, Evolution Leah with 2 points.
2. Yeah, so, yeah. So
it's crazy because it was like, Leah got a great roster.
That's what I said.
And Leah's not doing very well right now.
Just to run down real quick since you interrupt me, Petty Club is next with 3.
I didn't know we was going to do all of it.
Yeah, I mean, real quick so people, so they know. 306, Undisputed Nation of Domination. Actually, no, I apologize. TK Cruz next with 258 points. New Generation X, 229 points. And then Undisputed Nation of Domination, 161 points. Rich Fam, 13 points. And Evolution, a total of 2 points, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
Do the womp thing. Sorry, Leah, but it's really bad.
Kev too. Kev is back there with her.
She sure is. At least Leah tried, and gave a good roster.
But that's the crazy part.
You know what? I'm not on anybody's side. We're commentators. We're in the background. So maybe who knows? John Cena might appear and have a match, and Triple H
got one coming up.
So who knows? So we're gonna get into Raw.
Yeah, let's go into your show. Let's start with you.
All right, so we start off with the big dog, the Universal Champion, Roman Reigns.
The big dog!
So I had an issue with this. Kind of, sort of.
Okay.
So I didn't have an issue with Roman's promo. I thought it was solid. What did you think?
It was cool. It was a nice kickoff.
So my thing is, okay, so we brought back the Shield, right?
Right.
Why does Roman come out in a Shield shirt, but we didn't have the rest of the Shield come out and, back him up, right? I understand they came in the main event,
right?
But it just didn't feel like a cohesive unit. Like, we mark out when they come out from the crowd, or you hear their music hit and they come in the gear and everything, and it just seemed okay. Obviously, we did it so they didn't boo Roman out the arena in Brooklyn, in Barclays. But it's just like, okay, I wanted the full Shield effect,
right?
You know what I mean? And then it would even made Braun make Braun look even more like a badass.
Right.
Like, okay, these three against me and what have you, and then obviously you bring out these two guys, Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler. It didn't seem right to me.
Well, I agree on multiple levels. I didn't think that the start of the show was, they ended the show last night, so why not have them start the show together? Like, we're back together. We finally got Ambrose back. And then, Braun come out, talk his mess. And then happen with the tag team match, whatever have you.
Yeah.
And then set up for later on that night.
Yeah.
It's just this is weird. And then to me, it was like, why would Dolph Ziggler and McIntyre interrupt Roman?
Yeah.
They had nothing to do with each other.
I get it, but you also remember, I know how you said a few weeks ago you thought there was a feud brewing between Drew and Roman. So I don't know if that kind of just... But I don't think that's the feud.
Nah, it's not the feud, because then they teaming up with Braun now.
Yeah.
And even that I didn't like. You have another team that's not doing anything. AOP. That would have been monster with Braun.
Yeah, especially when they wear the same type of gear.
Right.
Yeah.
And like, it would have been nice if you made a tag team happen between Dolph Ziggler, whatever, and then out of nowhere, AOP comes out and attack everybody but Braun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that would have been a better...
So that's how you would have booked the show.
Yeah, because AOP's not doing anything.
See, I would have booked the show. I think that's a dope idea, but I wasn't thinking about them. But I would have booked the show at Barclays, and we talked about it last week with the Jobbers here. It's like, who's the heel and who's the face, or you know what I mean?
Right.
That was the perfect opportunity
to make the Shield healed.
Yeah, because essentially that was a heel move, and especially you just saw their mannerisms, and especially Roman, especially when Roman came out on Monday. He just came out with just a whole type of swag, like the band is back together.
Right.
You know what I mean? I honestly thought that would have been a perfect time to make them heel. You hate Roman already. I know Seth is white hot and just super over.
That's why they don't want to do it.
And then Dean is super over currently because of his return.
Right. That's how they didn't want to do it.
Yeah, but I don't know. People were going to still cheer them, but I just felt like there still needed to be more of an edge. And the Shield, before all of this, when they broke up and what have you, they weren't the type to really get attacked like that.
Right.
So it didn't make sense.
To me, it's more so like there was nothing left for Braun to do on the face side. Like we said, he's became
True.
comical relief.
True.
So he had to be the one to turn.
True.
I just feel like I get it why Braun had to go.
Mm-hmm.
But Dolph and McIntyre?
I also hate the fact that Braun is cashing in advance for Hell in a Cell. Listen.
Yeah.
Listen. The point of Money in the Bank is for a sneak attack.
It made sense when Rob Van Dam did it because it was for one night stand, like an ECW pay-per-view. It made sense.
Right.
It made sense for John Cena to do it because he's the poster boy and he does everything to the. Why does Braun have to follow the rules?
Yeah.
If he's a monster that's a heel.
Well, technically, he's not following the rules per se.
Well,
because he's.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why do you I'm sorry to cut you off. I mean, like, why?
Are you?
Well, no. Why does he have to cash in and give you a heads up? He's a heel and he's supposed to be a monster.
Well, I don't think he was a heel until the main event. Like, it was established he was officially a heel. So that, but give someone else the briefcase. I did read somewhere. I'm trying to remember where exactly I read that, but a theory behind that is with Kevin Owens quote unquote quitting, and then Braun like cashing in well in advance that he'll give the contract to Baron Corbin and maybe Baron will give it to Kevin Owens. I don't know. It's a little murky, but
I heard another theory for Kevin Owens. We get to that.
Well, no. Well, let's get into it because we don't have him.
Yeah, we do. We have him on here.
Okay. Excuse me. Never mind. I shouldn't have talked about the theory so soon then, huh? But yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't have booked it that way, honestly.
Yeah.
You know, everyone who knows I'm not a fan of the fact that Braun is
nobody's. I don't think hardly anybody's a fan.
And now that you made him heel, and plus you have kind of like allies, you don't need the Money in the Bank briefcase. So I think that was stupid booking, but whatever.
Another stupid booking: Baron Corbin versus Finn Balor. Part 5, 6, 7,
8, $1 million. So what do you think?
It made no sense. Like,
what was and this is what I've been saying for weeks. If I was part of creative, I would have had what Baron did on Monday's episode,
he should have been it.
He should have been doing that and making it hard for Finn to win. Hence the reason he got fed up and he came out exactly because he has to go into that alter ego. This for what? What was the point of this man sitting in makeup or whatever? Have his
4 hours.
4 hours for a 2-3 minute match,
and then losing again the following week.
Yeah, like it just didn't make sense.
I don't know where they're going with this.
I don't either. And if they continue this, I wouldn't. No, but you know what? It's kind of like, wasn't it last year when it was Finn versus Bray, and they still continued the feud even though the Demon came out? Wasn't it? Didn't that happen?
No, it wasn't Bray because Bray got sick and then it was AJ.
No, I mean around like SummerSlam. Before I know that feud happened.
It wasn't Bray. It was somebody else though. I can't remember who it was.
It was Finn and Bray last year.
No, because it was supposed to be Bray and Finn with the Demon King at that event when everybody got sick, and then they had to substitute Bray with AJ.
Nah, son. Nah.
SummerSlam was somebody else though. I know what you're talking about. It was somebody else.
Nah, son.
So they was gonna have Bray face the Demon King twice?
No, I'm not saying that they had the Demon King he faced him twice. What I'm saying is even after he faced the Demon King, they still continued with the feud.
I know, but what I'm saying is he was going to have Bray face the Demon King twice because that's when Bray got sick and they had to substitute him with AJ.
Correct, but I'm saying the feud continued regardless.
Yeah.
And it's the same.
This is a side question.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, the same thing. No, you didn't step on anything. I don't know.
I'm making sure I don't kick your sneakers that you just bought out after you copped them
5 years ago.
5 years ago, the first time they touched the ground is like 5 years later.
Sneaker game.
5 years later.
Sneaker game heavy. Anyway, I'm pretty sure if anyone that listens,
Astro probably gonna correct this.
Yeah. But yeah, like the same exact thing happened. I feel like so I don't understand. I really don't understand what they're doing with Finn
or Baron.
I get what they're doing with Baron. I like
no, what's the end game? Like you're acting general manager to somebody that takes over from you.
Maybe it leads him to a Universal Championship title match. No. I like this Constable GM Baron. I think it's better than Lone Wolf. I didn't like the Lone Wolf. I thought he was boring, especially when he was on SmackDown. It was just like, okay.
Yeah, his character got better, but his ring still is no.
Okay, but
he's
see,
not championship material. I'm sorry. That's my.
I'm not saying he's championship material, but maybe he abuses. Well, I mean, if you abuse power, if you're a heel GM and you abuse power, wouldn't you put yourself in the best position?
I mean, he could try to get in there. Like he's look who's fighting for the title right now.
So what would you do with Finn though?
Finn gotta go. It's a common quote, but he gotta go heel. I'm sorry.
Not much. But then where are the faces at? We don't have that many faces. You know,
Raw does. Raw has a few faces. They don't have heels. They have Bobby Roode. They have can I have my water, please? It's annoying you?
A little bit.
Okay, but I might have to need.
It's hot, so it's not gonna. It's
I need to take a sip of something later. Like I was about to, and then started talking. They have Bobby Roode. They have roll your eyes on Bobby Roode. They got Bobby Lashley. They have you roll your eyes on Bobby Lashley too. Like,
but this is what so the fact that you're naming these faces that are boring. The only guy that's still again Finn is like Sasha.
That was your
boss time.
Because I didn't hear it last week, so I needed to hear it. Where even though their push sucks, they're still over. You know, so you have to. I feel like you kind of have to keep him face because, like you said, Bob and the other Bob, they're boring ass faces.
Bob Burgers.
Exactly, the Bob brothers.
Bob brothers.
So yeah. And then you have a lot of heels with Jinder now. Braun
is he still a heel? I'm confused.
I don't know what they're doing. Essentially, he seems like
he's trying to be mellow. Like
I guess I don't know if he sounds like it looks like he's jobbing again. To be honest with you.
Okay.
Then you have Mojo that's a heel. Like you don't have enough faces.
No, I think
the only legitimate faces that I can think of right now is Seth Dean, and
Finn?
And Roman. And Finn, yeah.
I won't even mention Roman.
Roman. So I mean, I guess you make him heel, but let that man have really a good shot at the title.
I say give him if they're not gonna put
A mid card title.
Yeah.
You think so, Finn?
Yeah, give him the IC title. Let him work,
Okay.
Let him work that. That's a workhorse
Yeah,
title.
but Seth is the IC champion, so it's like that's the same feud that happened not too long ago.
You know what else I hate?
What?
Now you mentioned I meant to say this, the Shield. What is up with this open challenge thing that they try to do amongst themselves?
What do you mean?
I think it's overdone now. Like,
I like open challenge.
Yeah, but when one title does it, Roman trying to do an open challenge, and then Seth trying to do an open challenge.
But my thing is,
and it's like, oh, we the workhorses, and this is the open challenge. Like,
okay, but we went a year and some months without the title being defended. So I like the fact there's an open challenge. You have a fighting champion.
But my thing is, pick one person to do it. Why does the entire stable have to do it? Because it's repetitive.
It's not repetitive. It's something different because they don't have titles challenged on the regular shows often. It's not repetitive.
When Jeff had the U.S. title, he was doing open challenges. It made
how
sense.
Long? How
it made
long?
sense for the U.S. title to be open challenges because that's what Cena started. But then when you have the IC title and then the Universal title doing it on the same show at the same night,
why not? Why not?
Because then it shows that everybody in the back that's been doing whatever they've been doing for the past couple of months don't mean nothing because it was never keep track. Who's in number one contender for the IC title? Who's the number one contender for the Universal title?
Well, maybe there's whatever match or feud that was so good that someone was this close that the GM will be like, listen, obviously he's a heel, but ideally speaking, you'd be like, all right, I like this feud. You have one more shot. You're the number one contender. I think it's refreshing. There was a time, again, everyone knows I always talk about the Attitude Era, where the title was defended often on the actual shows, not just on the pay-per-views. I think this is refreshing.
And when those titles was defended on a regular show, because it was a storyline behind it, it wasn't dealt with an open challenge.
But there are storylines right now.
But my point is that the open challenge is like, again, if it was one title, if he did it with the IC title, fine, whatever. But for both of them to do it in the same night, it just
I don't think there's not.
We're the workhorses, and we're gonna do an open challenge.
But the Shield is showing you that they're the Shield. They're above the rest. Plus, they did it in another country that they're not in often. So you got kind of give them a show.
I don't like it.
Yeah, you're just a hater.
I don't like it.
I
like Seth. I just don't like the whole concept of everybody trying to do open challenges with every title.
I like it. I think it's a refreshing.
What's the point of having storylines and rankings and?
But there's storylines. And especially if you got, let's say, again, you said heel Finn Balor, you have an open match challenge or whatever with Seth or whatever, and he just interferes because he feels he needs that opportunity, not this person. Boom, storyline. Like, you making it seem like you can't create a storyline.
But my thing is that the open challenge itself is its own thing. I don't need everybody to do it. Like, I don't think so.
But then you're the same person that be like, oh, Raw is boring. It's too much. There's not enough matches. Like, what have you.
You could have just created a match. You don't have to do open challenge. It's boring booking to me because you did it when you started the show. And you're going to do it again in the middle of the show? That's boring. That's like you wrote the same thing twice in the same show. Be creative.
That is creative.
Doing the same thing twice in the same show?
It's two different matches.
Okay.
Again, when a title has not been defended on the regular and we get to see defended 2 weeks in a row.
But we already know who the number one contender is for the Universal title.
Correct. But technically, the number one contender has the Money in the Bank briefcase. So that means he shouldn't even be a number one contender. He's just waiting in the wings.
Again, poor booking. This is my entire argument. This is lazy.
That I don't think is poor
It's lazy.
I don't think that's lazy. I don't.
Speaking of different countries.
What's lazy is not having a title defended on a daily basis or frequent.
Take that up with Vince.
Well, then you take it up with Vince that there's an open challenge.
I'm not putting it against this show. I'm just saying this lazy book. I'm putting it on the
I
writers.
said put it up against. All right, we'll put it up against to the writers.
That's
it's the same
point.
thing.
That's my point. The writers.
You're not making a point.
Yes, it is. That was poor. That was lazy writing.
Okay, it was lazy writing for this guy to not defend his title.
I liked it. Speaking of going out of country, we got a nice surprise this past coming Monday.
I definitely butchered Stratisfaction, but you know what I'm talking about. Raw is Stratisfaction. Listen, you the last person to be laughing when I gotta correct your stuff. So
I'm just saying, it's just weird to me that you made this mistake. But yeah,
why
Trish
is
Stratus.
why is that weird, sir?
Cause you usually
be on point. Well, thank you for the compliment.
I'm not gonna say on point, but anyway,
I'm always on point.
Trish Stratus made her appearance this past week, interrupting Elias' concert.
And you heard the laugh.
Yeah. Oh, it's time to rock and roll and all that.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, Elias is from Canada.
Is he not? I didn't know he was from Canada.
Is he from Canada? I don't want to miscrew that. Never mind. Don't
you
take that.
You
take away from that. But
every time you say something, I swear, you got to fact check it.
Oh my God.
You really that type of person we have to fact check.
I'm sorry if I can't remember everything.
You mess up often. Yeah,
I don't mess up often. I got too many things in my head. But he's not.
Jeffrey Logan, whatever, is an American professional wrestler.
Okay, I got to confuse somebody else.
Billed from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Anyway,
let's just see if he was actually.
Why are you going off topic? We're talking about Trish Stratus right now.
You the one that went off topic.
No, it's not. It was dealing with Elias and Trish Stratus and being in Toronto.
He's an American man.
Okay, my apologies.
Oh, see.
There's so many Canadian wrestlers. So,
Canadian, there are. That's very true, but he's not.
It's easy to make mistakes. Anyway, she came out to hype up my match against Alexa Bliss.
So my thing is, was it too soon that she came out?
No, it was perfect because they was in her hometown. They had to.
No, I'm just posing the question. I don't disagree with her coming out so early.
Yeah. Right.
It's always nice to see Trish. She looks great too.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah. How did you feel about Natalya and Ronda, and then Bliss, and then Mickey and Alicia? Like, what did you think about all of that?
I think it was pretty cool that it was a good way to reintroduce Mickey back into the fold because of her history with Trish. I think
stalker, crazy,
right?
Yeah,
and again, goes back to what I said before. It made perfect sense for Trish Stratus versus Mickey James.
Yeah,
at Evolution.
Yeah,
but anyway.
Yeah.
Did you see the text I sent you about what Bliss said about haters, and she used the Nicki Minaj?
Oh, I did. Yeah.
Anyway,
why I didn't respond to it because I'm like, okay, whatever.
But I wish there was a little bit more interaction
between who?
Amongst the six. Like, they didn't get to... Did Trish Stratus get involved? I feel like I was distracted.
So, I mean, it was Trish, like you said, hyped up the match between her and Bliss. And then Natalya and Ronda came up. Ronda didn't say anything, just... Yeah. With her title. And obviously, Natalya got a nice hometown. Well, it's not her hometown, but, home country pop.
Right.
And whatever. And then Alicia Fox and Alexa Bliss came out. I mean... Alexa was on the mic because she's the strong mic.
But I mean, like during the match though, like.
It was like. It was just outside the ring type thing.
But did Trish hit Alexa at all, or?
I don't remember.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like
tuned out, but I just felt like there was just interaction in regards to outside the ring where they were just like, "Hey, you stay back over there," like, type thing. Well, I mean, I guess you don't want to. What's the word I'm looking for? Like, show your cards. Too soon? I don't know.
She just wrestled in January.
January, August, September.
And then the Bella Twins came out and celebrated with them.
So here's my issue with all of this. I instantly, as soon as I watched this, I was like, yo, the Divas era is back. And no shade to anybody that are Bella Twins fans and the whole nine, but it was just very... I don't think they're strong on the mic, and you would think like all these years later they would be better, but it was, for me, that segment was very cringeworthy. You already have Ronda, who's awkward in the sense of just like with promos.
Natalya, not that great.
Natalya's not that great.
Love you, Natalya. I love you.
I love Ronda and I love Natalya. Well, even I don't know if you watch Total Divas.
On and off.
On and off. I remember not like the last season or so when they were showing Naomi and her preparing for their SummerSlam match, and they went to like someone like an acting coach or something.
Because Lana said that she was bad on promo
or something. So she's aware of it. So it's great talent, but
she's not aware of it because she was offended. But
yeah, you know what I mean. So she's aware that maybe they might need some work. And I was just like, with the Bellas, I was like, okay, like it just really gave me the and then with Alexa and Mickey and Trish, and no shade to Trish because she's one of the greatest women superstars that we've had collectively. Like her body of work, maybe not, like I said, not the best wrestler. I said superstar.
Okay.
It just I know people, maybe not this week. We're not prepared, but I think next week we should kind of, or when we get closer to Evolution, really break down Trish, like
Trish and Lita, and just that whole era.
Yeah.
And really do a real ranking, because there's some people that's left out that hardly gets mentioned that should be mentioned.
Yeah, well, not even that, but like again, it goes back to like we think Trish, or people think Trish is the greatest of all time. She's a legend, right? You don't think she's a legend?
I mean, she is a legend because
Lita's a legend.
They put her on that pedestal. They put them on that pedestal. But.
See, and over the years, and it's kind of like the Bella twins. Like Trish started off not the greatest, right? Because she was more so eye candy and a manager,
right?
And then she became a wrestler,
right?
You know, she progressed. And the Bella, I'll give them their credit.
Lita too.
Lita was always.
She was very active. She was very active.
Yeah, she was always like dope and with the moonsaults and everything.
She came out with Ese Rios.
Yeah. So, but this Trish reminds me of the Bellas. Like they've progressed over the years, but it's still like whatever. Anyway, on that note, I just thought I thought that segment was very diva-like. To be honest with you,
I agree with you.
I feel like we came from the Divas Revolution. Give divas a chance. You know, with Sasha, Charlotte, Becky coming up, and us being excited, and Paige being there, and just to
slowly
reverting back, and that's got me afraid for Evolution.
You know what this is happening, right?
What?
You know what they're setting this up for? Why the Bellas keep popping up with them, right?
The Nikki versus Ronda.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what it's heading towards. So, Super Show.
Would you do anything
different?
Is this for the Super Show or for Evolution?
No, Super Show. I feel like this is when Nikki turns on Ronda.
Oh, because they have that tag team match.
6-woman tag team match.
So what would you do? Would you keep this segment the way it is, or
I don't even know what to do with this. To be honest with you,
it was just all over the place.
I don't even know what was the focus. It went from Elias to Trish to Alexa Bliss to
and Ronda being there,
right? And then the Bellas coming from nowhere, and
Ronda's not
Nikki come back, and
right. Ronda's not Brock Lesnar, but she's still just showing up, not really doing much on the show, huh?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I don't know. I wasn't a fan of this segment. Yay women, but I wasn't a fan of this segment.
Fan.
KO.
My guy.
Yes. What did you...
He answered the Seth Rollins Open Challenge to a great pop.
Home country
yep.
pop. So what was the theory that you heard about him?
So, he quit after he lost to Seth in an amazing match.
What did you hear about the theory?
That he's quitting because he's coming back with Paul Heyman as his mouthpiece. He's going to be a Paul Heyman guy.
KO doesn't need Paul Heyman as a mouthpiece, though.
I know.
He really doesn't.
I know.
Which is funny, just to go off topic a little bit, when I was looking at your story and you named the top 5.
Oh, yeah.
And I was surprised that you put Alexa there.
I did it because it's current.
Controversy?
Yeah, it has, basically.
Get the people talking?
Yeah, okay. Basically. Because she's always mentioned, and then I wanted to put a woman up there. So I didn't want to be all male dominated.
She's really good in the mic.
I didn't want to be all male dominated, so I was like, let me put her up there.
Because I think KO is a pretty good.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I would maybe put. Let me not be a hater. Fine, whatever. Lex can be there. You're there, Lexi. Good job. But
yeah, that's the theory that's going around.
Do you like the idea that he quit? He quit. They put him on the
alumni
first, page.
Yes.
Okay.
At first, yes, until I find out this is where they're going with it. And I'm like, I don't know how I feel. I'm a Paul Heyman guy. I love KO. So that's the aspect of me that I love it. Like, yeah, both my guys together. But at the same time, like you said, KO don't need this. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's good on the mic by himself. I was hoping that he comes back, like we've been saying, and be the new Stone Cold-ish kind of character. Like, getting tired of authorities. You know what I'm saying? Like, but
getting tired of authority telling him what to do.
Right.
Putting him down.
Right. Like, he's being a soldier, but never gets with the proper.
I'm indecisive in regards to. I don't know if I chose the right word. Indecisive. Indifferent. Excuse me. I'm indifferent in regards to this storyline, because I've been saying for weeks, KO needs to. He's
something
because what they're doing, they made him
a step on your fresh kicks. I'm trying to make sure. It's very awkward.
Damn it, you did it.
I just saw your foot
you
right
just
there.
Did it.
I looked at you. Your foot was right there, so I was gonna go to the outside.
I want to say hi to Grace, but I don't want if I say his name because I know when I say my dog's name,
he pop up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a dog in the studio.
We have a dog in the studio, Graves, like Corey Graves.
Yeah.
But that's not the reason why he was named Graves.
No, but we're going off a topic again.
But this is good. This is what people like, man.
I know.
You know?
But yeah,
they like because you don't have much personality, so this.
What? You're crazy. You're out of your mind.
Wait, where is it?
The crowd laughing.
Wait it up. Yeah, okay, do that. That was. It's like a sitcom. That makes me want to watch a old 90s sitcom.
Seinfeld.
Space Ghost. I wonder if anybody that watches this has heard of Space Ghost because apparently it took you 7 years to.
It wasn't something I watched.
But okay, whatever. It's off topic. Yeah, so I'm indifferent about this segment and where they're going with him. So hopefully he comes back dominant like when he first debuted on the main roster.
He needs the title.
He does well with the title. He's just a really good superstar. So what would you rate Raw?
Like a C.
Okay, and the people thought similar, C+.
What did you think?
C+. Yeah, I'm C+. It was okay. It was whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah. Your show, the Blue Show.
Yes, SmackDown Live. We kicked it off with the New Day.
So there was a number one contender match.
Wow, he's gonna.
Well, because we're trying to cut down on recaps.
I know,
right?
but
I
that
tell this
was funny.
See, I tell this man right before the show started. I said, let's cut on recaps. He told me weeks ago, you know what, we should probably, because people watch the show. Right. Every time we do this,
you let me finish
I didn't finish.
You let me finish what I'm saying.
So if anyone noticed earlier, I was cutting it short. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead, my man.
You start off with the New Day.
Go ahead.
And I thought it was hilarious.
It was.
When they brought Booker T out.
You know, of course,
that 5 time. They all did the spinneroonie and they had to help Big E. That was hilarious to me. That's all I wanted to say.
It was.
That's all I wanted to say.
Recap, though. It was right. It was funny. It was cool.
It was hilarious.
Okay, I thought it was funny, too.
Okay, I just wanted to put my opinion on that. That's not how it's supposed to be used.
Well, that's how it was used. Because the banter is funny, so we're going to laugh. Right?
Anywho, this number one contender match.
Did you like it?
No.
Why?
Because it's predictable.
Is it predictable?
Yes. The Bar, again, being the number one contender match.
Well, first of all, I can't believe I've been defending the Bar for a minute, but they weren't used for months, and of course you need heel versus face. Yes, there's sanity, but the tournament or what have you is not done.
Who's next week?
It's Sanity. There's Rusev and Aiden English
and the Usos. Who you think is gonna win that? Honestly,
he's gonna have to be face, so it'd probably be the Usos.
And then Usos versus The Bar.
No, maybe it might be Rusev and Aiden English, especially if they're pushing. They're gonna continue to push this. I don't know. On that note, I do feel the Bar is going to be the one to face New Day because you're not going to have the Usos move on because we already seen New Day versus Usos a gazillion times, which even though it was fantastic, you had fantastic matches, 2 matches that I could think of, the SummerSlam one and Hell in a Cell. Those were dope matches, but you need new rivalry.
This is not a new rivalry. New Day and the Bar have done this before.
When?
And this is on Raw.
When?
On Raw for the tag team titles. They've done this already.
When New Day was on Raw?
Yes, and the Bar was on Raw. Like, we've done this already. My point is, just like how you always say, how do we build up new talent and new teams? The Club and the Colognes. When the last time we seen the Colognes? This would have been a nice surprise for them to pull it out.
Correct, but their face was the Colognes.
No, they're not faces. They've always been heels.
What were they faces? You don't
know what
they
they was, but you could have still used it.
But the fact that you're saying all this, we'll go later to when we have our debate question. We'll discuss this.
But my thing is, like, we've seen the Bar do this already. Like, the Club had a chance, the Good Brothers had a chance, the Colognes had a chance. Give one of them the upset. Next week, give somebody the upset. Throw us off. We see this coming a mile away.
You know, apparently I didn't put this in hot topics, but you know, apparently the Bludgeon Brothers wasn't supposed to drop the titles.
Oh, there was it?
I read
And
this.
somebody got hurt in the middle of the match, right?
That's why, yeah. But apparently there was a bigger picture for them.
Mm.
I'm actually shocked because they were boring.
They were. What more did they want to do with them?
I don't know, but they had big plans for them apparently.
I don't wish well on bad things.
Right, obviously.
But I'm glad the New Day won.
It's been a while since they've held the title, and even that time they did for a split second, you know.
Yeah,
And I'm on board.
And it was good for us because we was able to drop our skit.
Yo, we got some.
We didn't
clout.
we didn't get a chance to talk about it last week because we didn't want to.
We got some clout on the video, the skit. So I'm excited to do some more.
Right. So if you haven't seen it, go check out our Instagram and Twitter. We dropped a New Day skit that was pretty well liked.
Shout out to the WWE shop too for
hooking us up.
Yeah. But I don't know. I was indifferent about this too because I really didn't entice me after New Day and Booker T were done.
Right.
I was just like, okay, it was okay, man. It was whatever, and I'm not upset the bar won. I'm not because you know why I'm not upset, and I think it goes back to what I was saying earlier about them. They were gone for months, and we had no. I understand it's been done before, but we haven't seen them. Had it been a thing where we constantly kept seeing them since when they got drafted to SmackDown, I probably would be feeling more how you're feeling. But
I would have booked them doing this fantasy booking. I would have booked them on the side storyline.
I swear, every time we get in here, I'm like sweating bullets. I'm sorry.
No. I would have did a side, storyline for them against somebody else, and then eventually, if you want to bring them back around after whatever happens with New Day and one of the upsets.
Yeah,
that would have made more sense to me, but whatever.
Well, I'm here for it, but we have a Bella return again, Bree mode. Should get that as a soundboard thing. You can look, but you can't touch. I know that's Nikki. I'm well aware.
That's Nikki.
I'm well aware of who. I'm well aware who what
I'm
the song belongs to.
I'm making sure.
Because technically, originally, it was both of their songs. So don't play me.
But I'm just saying, we're talking about Bree though.
Correct, but I just wanted to say I felt like this
you had a chance in Raw, but you didn't do it.
I'll sing it again.
Anyway.
And again. And again.
So we had.
And again.
We had Bella's back-to-back nights again. How did you feel about this?
Bree's cringe on the mic. She's really cringe on the mic. So it made this segment again awkward for me.
Mm-hmm.
What?
The promo part?
Yeah.
Okay.
When they first came out.
Okay.
The ending was dope. The
ending was dope. Segment, I'm like,
no, I said when she was on the mic. That's why I said it was awkward for me. Now when Andrade, Zelina, and Miz and Maurice attacked Bree and Daniel, I thought that was fire.
Commodity amongst the hills. When the last time we seen that?
That was dope.
On Raw, but
that was dope. I thought that was a really good.
It was.
And now we're gonna have. Not now, but we obviously have the match going into Hell in the Cell between the two teams. I don't know where that leaves Andrade and Zelina.
By the way, Andrade and Daniel Bryan had an amazing match. And
it picked up. There was I forgot what. Oh, when he did that, was it a moonsault? But he spun. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm like Michael Cole. I'm not good with the names. It was like a moonsault, but he kind of
corkscrew.
Yeah, that was dope. That's when I felt like, this match is starting to pick up.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that ending of it when Miz and Maurice interfered and attacked them with Andrade and Zelina, I thought that was dope. And just,
seeing them team up against them, and
I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, or C, right?
C.
But
it's hilarious that the crowd knows to say C when Andrade is about to do something.
Any Mexican superstar that they have,
yeah.
It's always C.
That's a sidebar on Andrade, even though I know he's not highlighted. That match he had with Daniel Bryan, like I said, I know it's amazing.
It's all the same thing.
It just shows that
he's so good.
He's so good. Him. Because I was watching, usually when they do the breaks, I don't pay attention because it's too small. I'm not trying to focus on it. But I'm watching it. They went to a rest hold for like 30 seconds, and they was like, nah, we're going to continue. And they just kept doing regular moves. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, all right, I have to pay attention now because they're not doing a rest hold for this entire commercial.
Yeah. And then
I didn't mean to put that. Sorry, LIJ.
Wait, what did you put?
I actually hit the Bullet Club drop with my hand.
Okay. I didn't hear it. But and then I when Bree came out, And she kept talking, and then when Andrade and Zelina came out, I'm like, oh, she's about to ether both of them on the mic.
Yeah.
She's stronger on the mic than both of them put together, in my opinion.
Daniel Bryan and Daniel Bryan got so much better.
He's gotten better, but he's not I won't consider him a top.
I feel like as a face, you're very limited to your promo skills.
Okay.
So as a face, he's very.
He's
wild.
very. I mean, he's super over. He's gotten himself over with the gimmick and everything. So yeah, but Zelina is stronger on the mic.
Yeah, no, she's.
So when she came out, I was like, oh, I didn't like that they had Andrade speak.
They're trying to get him comfortable with
I understand, but the reason for Zelina is she's the mouthpiece. That's the reason for her.
Right.
And the fact that they're having her in matches is also great, but she's the one that speaks for him. It's kind of like Paul Heyman and Brock, right? Brock very, very rarely speaks unless it's like a backstage segment. Zelina is the one that should be talking.
I wasn't mad about it.
I wasn't mad, but I just it wasn't needed because I legit said, "What? Like, come again?"
Yeah.
No shade, but
a lot of people were. Yeah. He got to get used to his.
But yeah, get strong. The only way you get strong is by you constantly doing it.
And that's what they're trying to get him comfortable doing.
So main event, we had women.
That surprised me a little bit.
Did it? Why? Because you thought
I forgot all about it.
Did you? Okay.
Like I thought it was like. And then when the time started getting closer to the end, I was like, wait, what's the main event? The women's match.
Yeah. What'd you think?
I enjoyed it.
Let me tell you something.
Carmella got so much better.
She's carried 2 matches. I said this on Twitter, at Miss Jenna Baby, BAYBE. Okay, just had, 2 matches in a row she's carried. She carried the match at SummerSlam, and now this one. Her suicide dives are clean.
Yeah.
And there was another move that, what's it called?
The Hurricane off the top rope.
Yeah. I don't think they called it that, though. They called it something else. But anyway.
That's what it is.
Okay. Well, yeah. Amazing. She carried Charlotte. And Charlotte's supposed to be the best women's wrestler.
I've heard Charlotte carried her. I'm like.
From who?
Some Bliss fan.
Oh,
because I made a comment. I was like, so we're not gonna talk about how Carmella got better in the ring. And they was like, oh no, Charlotte carried her. I'm like, so in your opinion, who do you really think is better, Alexa Bliss or Carmella right now in the ring? I'm gonna say, oh, Bliss. I'm like, bruh, your love for Bliss is blinding.
Right? Yeah, never mind.
They get on me about Sasha, but
you have every right to big up the best.
They say my visions are impaired because I love Sasha, but I'm like,
well, it's 2020 because she is the best women's wrestler.
So I'm like, are you serious right now? So that's the kind of we got to.
But yeah, Carmella, she did a really, really good job. Not only she did a great job in the ring. Again, ever since she's been champion, her mic skills have been her swag. You just see confidence, and that's what you want from
even
your superstars. And on Twitter or
she's
Instagram,
like, this wasn't given to me. Da, da, da. I'm gonna take.
That's
this
what you
back
want.
to me.
You want your superstar to get better.
Right.
And that's what she did, and she carried the match. So it was a good match, thanks to Carmella. And
Charlotte did her part.
Okay.
I have to. I can't wait for this women's discussion because me and G got into it. Me, G, and Phil, we got into a discussion there. SummerSlam, like best female wrestlers right now and best male wrestlers. We had a nice little debate.
Who did they say was the best woman wrestler?
It was a consensus of Sasha and Asuka back and forth from 1 and 2.
I would even throw Ember in there, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Ember was in the top 5.
Okay. I think those 3 are interchangeable.
Yeah, this is in the top 5.
But yeah, Charlotte won that match, and good old Relentless. Yeah.
Last, yeah.
Said that.
I was confirming you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Becky came out with the sneak attack. Bang, bang, bang.
The fly sneakers, too.
Right? Straight fire on that arse. On that arse. But what can you say? Becky, she's hot.
She's feeling it right
and
now.
I said this too. I'm like, good job, WWE. This is exactly the reaction you wanted.
Yeah.
They are chanting for Becky. And, I mean, yeah, Charlotte gets her cheers and what have you when she comes out. But when it comes to Becky, you clearly see
the crowd's behind her.
Exactly. Which, again, I can't wait till we eventually get into this conversation about the top women and what have you. Because I remember on the Jabba Tears podcast on the crossover episode that they posted on their page, and then Sir Wilkins texted me like they're commenting on what you said, and someone said something along the lines of Charlotte being whatever, like I guess the top woman wrestler or whatever, and I'm like, is she really? Because she can't push merch sales, which is crazy to me, right? You think she has this popularity, but they don't give her merch. There's a reason for that. You don't get, you have to be popular, you know what I mean, to constantly get new merchandise. She doesn't. So I just find that there's a disconnect.
Are we going to have a special episode for that?
How about we do it before Evolution?
Just talk about Evolution.
We're going to have to probably talk about
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. We might have to get his own episode.
We'll figure it out.
There's so much going on that week. We're trying to plan and piece together.
Yeah. We'll figure it out. What did you think of SmackDown? What do you rate it?
I give it that A.
I give it an A. And the people thought A as well. So.
It was very entertaining. SmackDown doesn't really waver too much lately. Like, they really give you solid shows.
I've told you, since the draft, they have not, for me, I feel like they haven't been anything under a B, I feel like.
Yeah.
And most times I feel like it's B+ or into the A's.
Right. So. They've been very solid.
Yeah. So, want to get into hot topics?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Allegedly, Neville's no longer in contract with WWE.
So that means he can sign technically wherever he wants now.
Allegedly.
Because
WWE hasn't said nothing yet. Neville, I'm not believing it until WWE sends Future Endeavored or Neville tweet something.
Right.
But it's hot right now. Everybody's like, especially the Bullet Club. The Bullet Club's all over this. The Bullet Club is all over this.
Yeah, it's hot.
No. She's trying to touch my soundboard. You trying to do this one?
Yeah, there we go. What's this called? Joke drum? Oh, there we go. Wow.
I had pushed it already. But.
Yeah, well, I wanted to do it myself, but yeah, like you said, Bullet Club, Cody, and Young Bucks.
They photoshopping shirts.
Right. Doing a whole lot of recruiting.
Tamataga on the other end is putting him in Fire Squad shirt. Like, which one should he be?
Yeah.
Like, they're really going for this.
So there's a lot of promoting and recruiting going on from the Bullet Club. So
would you want to see that?
Sure.
Never in the Bullet Club?
Not. Yeah, I like it, especially with this heel persona. I think he can pull it off. But it looks like SummerSlam is done in New York City for a while.
Yeah.
You're booing this.
I like having it home.
That's
I'm sorry.
True. That's true. You save money.
I ain't got to travel nowhere for the past 5 years.
4 years. So we didn't get the 5th year. Someone was saying that on our Instagram, but I'm like,
you can't be greedy.
You can't be greedy if you're gonna get WrestleMania, right?
Yeah.
And that's the big one. But SummerSlam is now going next year officially to Toronto.
The 6th.
Toronto,
The 6th.
Yes. So that sounds exciting. It's in another country.
I can't wait.
So you were booing, but you can't wait.
I mean, like, booing because it's not at home anymore.
He was booing
because I was sad it's not at home again. But I'm going to travel to Toronto. I was planning to go to Toronto next year anyway. So this just gives me a reason to go to Toronto.
I've been saying for years that I have to go visit my friend out there in Canada. So this is a perfect way for me to head out there to Toronto.
Where in Canada, though? Because Canada's pretty big.
In
Toronto?
Brampton.
How far is that from Toronto?
Not too far.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have another friend in Canada, too. So I have a couple of friends out there.
Yeah, I have one friend out there.
Okay, so see, we got a couple of friends.
Yeah, he already hit me up.
Yeah, 3 friends out there.
He hit me up, was like, you need any information on how to find an Airbnb and whatever, if you need to stay at my house. I'm like, oh, great. Yeah. But I'm going to be with people, so.
Where in Canada?
Toronto. He lives in
actually Toronto.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, one of my friends lives in Brampton, which is Ontario, close to Toronto. Another one was in Hamilton, so that's in Ontario. So it's all in the same vicinity.
Toronto is going to be the move next year.
It's going to be. I wonder if they're going to stay there, like they have like kind of like a contract to stay there for a couple of years.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah. And they're bringing back Access, too.
I know you're excited about that.
No, I'm not.
Why not?
Why would I be excited?
You like Access.
No, I don't.
You don't?
No, I didn't care for Access.
Uh-huh.
I didn't, because it was just too much going on different lines and just a lot of people.
Oh.
And I didn't care for Access.
So you're going to join me this time and be on the outside looking in?
Essentially, because there's not too many superstars that I have to go see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I saw my favorites, but when it came to like the free ones to go meet whoever, I even like overslept one. I was like, nah, this is too early. I'm gonna stay in the hotel. Like, it's not my thing. Maybe but there's other things that go on too, so that's fun. With like WrestleMania Access, that you have the stage where you can pretend to be your favorite superstar and do their entrance, and you got the superstore and what have you. But it's fun, but I don't think I would see all those superstars. There's not too many people. I'm like, I gotta go meet them.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah.
Maybe you can hang out with the Undisputed for the weekend.
I have a shirt, so. He said,
Shout out to WWE Shop.
Of course, lacing us with the fly new gear.
As you can see, we're promoting hard because we need the money. So click those links.
Yeah, we do. Well, you gotta also, you
bring
know,
them in.
you gotta but you gotta show them love too.
Yeah, they show us a lot of love.
Right. We've made wrestling merch cool to wear outside of wrestling events. So you gotta.
That's all I wear now.
Legit.
That's all I wear now.
Legit. So, according to Wrestle Votes, the Deleters of Worlds are splitting because Matt Hardy is obviously in a bad shape. So, he's going to go more to like a backstage role.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Bray Wyatt apparently is obviously going to go back to a single star and have a babyface run. What do you think of that?
I don't see Bray as a face. Like I said, I feel like Raw has enough faces. I feel like they need a little bit more of a heel side, some fresh heels.
You just said that there wasn't that many faces on.
No, I said it was enough faces. That's why I said Finn. That's why I said Finn should be a heel because they have enough faces.
I was the one that said that it doesn't have enough faces.
Yeah, SmackDown is the one.
They don't have enough face on Raw. And we see Bray is one of those people that is good on the mic. As a heel, let's see how captivating he is as a face. And my thing is with Bray, he's like Finn too. He's like, there's always some type of push, but he never gets the big win. I feel like he's low key like a high jobber. You know what I mean? Like he always he always has a fuse with someone, and he never overcomes the feud.
Like
never.
That Randy Orton match at WrestleMania still makes me mad. He should have won that.
Exactly.
He should have won that.
Exactly. And then you remember when he won the champion? It was the WWE championship.
He was champion for that night.
For a month or so, right? Yeah.
At WrestleMania, he was WWE champion. He lost.
Yeah. So he's never had an actually really strong run, and I would like to see that. Maybe we'll get that as a face.
Speaking of WrestleManias, since he's been headlining the past
and faces and nice runs
and all that stuff, apparently, according to Dave Meltzer, Roman Reigns is the number one merch seller.
But Roman isn't over.
Here's my thing. We had this discussion
numerous of times, but go ahead.
I'm talking about this past week when this came out on the Facebook groups and stuff.
Not me and you. You mean
no,
the groups?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, the groups.
Okay.
I've said this before. Now you're kicking me. Just let that know.
Yeah, but
right.
No big.
Oh, okay. Screw my sneakers. All right, cool. Got it.
Your point,
cool.
sir. If you will.
With merch, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you look when you go to, you've been to events. When Roman has 10 different things for you to pick from, and then everybody else has one or two, of course you're gonna have higher merch sales.
That's debatable.
How? Your options are more. They run out of everything else less. When you're a kid, when all you want to know is you just want to merch so you can bring back to school like, yo, I went to this event.
That's debatable. If your favorite wrestler isn't Roman Reigns and you despise Roman Reigns, especially and so many people apparently despise him, you're not going to buy his merchandise.
But see what I just said, kids.
They don't despise him though. But that's what I'm
saying. I get
so
that.
With that said, if you don't despise someone and that's your favorite wrestler and you see that, you're going to want to buy that. So it's a correlation to that.
But even if he's not your favorite and then your favorite runs out, you're going to pick your second or third who has more merch available. Yes or no?
Okay. I can agree with that.
So if somebody has 8 or 10 merches compared to 1 or 2 from other people and those get sold out, like the Undisputed Era shirt got sold out ASAP, so everything else was getting sold.
Okay, but then the reason why I don't agree with that theory though, because it's just not it's not events that these items are getting sold at. Because again, for that matter, you notice the women superstars merchandise aren't at the trucks during the events. For those for their shirts and stuff, you have to go online and get it. There's a reason why Alexa Bliss
is the only one that has a shirt up there. She has a shirt up there.
But it might have been one or so. But she has, if you go on the WWE shop website, she has like about 60 or so items. Sasha was another one who was more popular 2016, 2017. That was a top seller. But they didn't have her merch sold at the truck. Maybe her glasses and the chain and what have you.
Right.
But it didn't have her shirts sold there. So you can't say it's just, it's at the event. So I can go to school. Because my favorite wrestler is there. So I'm going to ultimately, by default, pick Roman.
But by your argument, right? You could buy it offline. But as a kid, you're at the event. It's more accessible to you.
Correct.
Now, how many events do they have in a week?
Correct. But again, if you're going with that point, there's a reason why people like Alexa Bliss, Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, etc., also are top merch sellers because people buy it online as well. Especially sizes,
adults,
especially when you go to the merch truck, those kid sizes aren't available. A lot of it's just men's sizes. So,
yeah, but that's what I'm talking about, the accessories, like the gloves. And that's what I'm saying.
Correct,
Roman has like at least 8 or 10 stuff to pick from.
Correct. But again, you can't chalk that all up to going to events and the truck. It's a combination of everything. Point is, the man sells merchandise, whether it's because he has 10 or 1 shirt at the truck. You can purchase that stuff online, and it goes back to the different superstars, such as Alexa, such as Seth, The Shield, Finn, Sasha, you know what I mean? Bailey, even to a certain extent, more so a couple of years ago. There's a reason why that they're top sellers as well, because they're just top sellers and popular superstars. You can't, I know ultimately people don't like Roman, but a lot of people do like Roman.
Well, and I don't argue that.
Right. So I see this as legit. It's not just events and just, by default, I'm going to get a Roman shirt.
I feel like his is more accessible than others. It's easier to get at events. When you have 4 events about a week, I say 4.
Well, also understand, too, at SmackDown events, they're not selling Roman shirts. They're selling AJ shirts. So that is a new point. They're not.
I wasn't there at SmackDown, so I can't.
They're not selling Raw superstars at a SmackDown event.
Yeah, but there's also Raw house shows. Well, that's like
correct. But now you just said your theory. There's 4 shows, so that means and you see nothing but Roman shirts. But then on SmackDown shows, you're not seeing Roman shirts, so that's a moot point. You might see a couple of accessories, but ultimately you're not going to see.
But you're still seeing stuff from him.
Correct, but you just made the point of every show, and there's 10 items. You're not gonna. I don't even think I see Roman at SmackDown truck when it's a SmackDown show. I could be wrong because I don't shop there.
I'm not gonna comment on that aspect, but my point is that his is a lot more easy accessible, and it's more options.
And AJ's very popular, and AJ has a lot of merch as well. Why isn't AJ number 1? And
he was number 1 for a while.
No, he wasn't.
I read.
No, you didn't. I've never read that before.
You haven't during Christmas time?
No. Oh. No.
I didn't meet you.
I even saw Elias at one point had a top seller in his shirt. I haven't seen AJ as number 1.
This is before I met you. This is like during the Christmas time.
Okay, Google it and send it to me.
I probably still have the screenshot when I was talking to the guys.
All right, send it to me.
I'll send it to you.
You know how Pisces like to fabricate.
Don't start this whole attack on Pisces again. All right.
Just saying. Vince McMahon reached out to AJ Lee to come. Whoa. Okay. Vince McMahon reached out to AJ Lee for a possible return at Evolution. That's exciting.
It's not happening. This deserves a crowd laugh.
I wouldn't. Who knows?
She's not doing it.
Who knows?
She's married to CM Punk. She's not.
I'm well aware of that.
She's not doing it.
Who knows? CM Punk at the end of the day is not going to hold back his wife, and I understand his wife is going to have his back. We don't know. We don't know. Especially what she's done for the women's evolution, and give divas a chance.
And how did they thank her?
Well, she left.
No. How did they thank her after she left?
They had Nikki Bella erase her title reign. Correct. I understand that. But she was a big part of the reason why Paige.
It is. You're right.
Sasha, Becky, and Charlotte.
Right.
So I don't knock Vince for trying.
No, I don't knock him for trying, but it's just
I would love to see it.
I would love to see it as well. I told you, AJ's
Put
probably
positive energy out there.
But
But ultimately speaking, I know she said she's done. She's done everything she could.
No, she still misses wrestling.
I know she misses wrestling, but she said she's done. Before she said she's done everything that she wanted to do, but now with the women's championship and it's not a Divas Butterfly title, maybe there's something else to accomplish. But on that note,
he's getting sued right now. So his friend, I don't see it.
Who knows? I really would love to see.
You never read her book.
You keep telling me you have her book.
Yeah, I have it.
So let me borrow it. I'll read it.
Read her book if you haven't. Like, her book is amazing. I finished it in one day.
You have like the hard copy?
No.
Oh, it's a digital?
Mm-hmm.
Can you like send it or no?
Mm-hmm.
Send it to me. I'll read it.
I'll tell you stuff. I can't say stuff on camera. I got you.
Yeah, I don't want you to tell me, but
okay, I got you.
Just send it to me.
Okay.
Kurt Angle, the reason why he is no longer GM or he's on a leave of absence or vacation, whatever. Apparently, he's going to return to a full-time wrestler, I believe, in October. Nothing for me.
I don't agree with this.
I don't either. I always find it weird. Like when you become a Hall of Famer, doesn't that mean that that's it?
This is the
you're
end
done.
For you. This is your.
You might make a couple appearances here and there, but like as a full-time superstar wrestler, I find that odd.
But they don't even have time for the wrestlers they have now. So why are you trying to add?
Which is something we'll talk about in a bit.
Like Hall of Famers to the mix. Like he's like, if you wanted to let him have a run, should have had it happen and then have him put in the Hall of Fame.
What did you think of his run as GM?
He was consistent. He was. It started off slow, but he picked up. Started getting more into the character. He got better. It was a while for him, talking so much and being scripted so much. He got used to it after towards the end. In my opinion, he did pretty well.
I thought Kurt was good for facial expressions, to be honest with you, and like laugh bites or whatever.
Right.
But his run as a GM, didn't do much for me. Whereas Paige, even though obviously it's not her booking the actual matches, there's something about Paige was more effective. It is more effective currently, in my opinion.
No, I said Kurt was always better as a comical heel, in my opinion, or a straight up heel. Face wise, he was never that great, and this is what they have him running as now.
When he was a stern face, it was pretty good.
When he was angry about something, yeah.
Okay, so then that means at one point he was good as a face.
Yeah, but his best work came as
a heel, a comedy regardless, heel, he's always been he was a strong superstar.
Right.
As a general manager, I think
it's not.
Yeah, especially if someone who used to be really good at promos and stuff felt like he
was held back.
I don't think it's about held back. I just think that he just wasn't strong. I don't know if it's because it's been a while. I don't know what the situation was, but I don't think he was strong as a GM.
I am very excited.
I know you are.
Because you know what this week is?
What is this weekend?
This weekend is All In.
You're
happening
all in?
This Saturday.
Can you get me my Bullet Club jacket?
If they still have some.
Okay.
Because I get there Friday, tomorrow. So people are gonna be there from yesterday. Well, today.
Yeah. I got a Young Bucks chalk line jacket.
I know. Did you send it to me? Showed it to me?
I put it on my story. I didn't send it to you.
I know you don't respect me.
I know.
But yeah, I'm excited. Me and G is driving out there. The first 0 hour is gonna be on WGN, so you can catch it on there. Check your local listings for that. It's free.
Like I said, I have to watch you later after the concert.
That's fine, and then you can find it on pay-per-view.
Yeah, I know it's fine. You don't tell me what's fine and not fine.
Fight TV, and now New Japan said they're gonna have it on their streaming afterwards. So if you have New Japan World subscription, you can watch it on there after it's done. And yeah, I'm very excited for All In. I can't wait.
What match are you most excited about? What match? I don't need you to run down the whole card because we got to finish up the show.
I think Pentagon versus Kenny Omega.
Okay.
Because that's gonna be very brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be my favorite.
And you get to see all that live. You get to see that live.
And I get to see it live. This is
congratulations.
History in the making, and I will be there in great seats. If you see me out there to sweet me, I'll be out there giving out the mixed tag show stuff. I'll have Bullet Club wear.
Please, you have work, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll be there.
This was your chance to do Bullet Club.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course, but you wasn't going to do it.
Bullet Club
So to end off our show, we have a debate discussion, right?
Before we do that, I had something to tell you. I can't remember
Cody
what it is.
and this guy and
No, it
Young
wasn't
Bucks.
even that. Dang it. I don't remember. Let's just move on.
This is why you write things. It
I
has
know.
something to do with Bullet Club.
No, it was like you mentioned the person's name, and I was like, oh, yeah, I can come back to this, but I'll just remind you later. And then, yeah, I forgot it.
Was it a woman?
I don't even remember.
Was it a male? Was this a WWE superstar?
I think it was WWE related.
Was it the Bella Twins? Was it
No,
AJ Lee? Was it
no.
Trish?
I think it was more so about Jeff Hardy. Why is he going into a Hell of a Cell match
No.
with his background?
Well,
and all
we
that stuff?
didn't talk about that at all.
I know. When Matt Hardy came up, I thought about it. It was something else, but whatever.
Okay.
Let's move on to the discussion.
So to end our show, don't touch me.
You have my hand space. I'm always here.
Well, you have a long ass arm.
Exactly.
You know?
So I need more space.
So where's my arm supposed to be?
You're good where you at.
So on that note, we're ending off the
Kicking me
show.
again.
Whatever. Can I continue?
Go ahead.
Should SmackDown be an extra hour? What do you think?
I remember what it was. I'm sorry. I remember what it was.
Okay.
I forgot to tell you to put this in Hot Topics. This whole thing with Iggy winning the title on the independent scene.
Okay.
Do you know who Iggy is?
No.
Iggy's the Billy girl.
Izzy.
There you go. Izzy winning the title on the independent scene. And
I saw she took. I don't know if yeah.
she won a title. It's like internet title. She was actually in a match. She took a choke slam, and people are mad about it. They're like, "This little girl should not be taking bumps."
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I wanted to know what you thought. You think?
I don't care. I don't even know why we're even discussing this. To be honest with you, I'm not even trying to play you. I don't care. I really don't.
Dang, it's a kid taking a bump. You don't. No thoughts.
I mean, I can see why people would be annoyed if she's a child.
She's 10.
She's a child.
Yeah.
Is being 10 years old not being a child?
I'm just giving the age for the listeners that don't know her
Oh,
age.
okay. I thought you were saying it's not a child.
No, I'm saying I was like you said a child. I said 10.
I mean, maybe is that her passion to be a wrestler?
I mean, that's what she says she wants to be.
Okay, so I mean, I see both ends. Like you should follow your passion, especially when a lot of people don't really have that outlet to start training at a certain age. They gotta wait till 18 or get a certain amount of money together. So that's cool, good for her in that sense. But
A choke slam though.
but I also think it was grown men giving her a choke slam.
As a man,
Correct. I think that's a little crazy. Maybe if it was a woman, it might have been better. I don't know. Good for her. I don't know. It's okay, cool.
Yeah, I think that was just weird, like a guy giving her a choke slam. Cause
It is weird. It's
can't-
definitely
that's-
weird.
that's-
I'm not gonna even knock that. That is weird.
why are you taking bumps
Isn't
at
that
10?
weird? Yeah, it's a little
Like
bit.
that's why you're taking bumps. You see what Matt and Jeff is going through with the stuff they did.
Start her off early. I don't know. Good for her that she's getting her feet wet, but still, shame on them. I don't know.
Yeah, no. Okay, redo. Discussion and debate.
Should SmackDown be an extra hour? Anything else? We're good?
No, we good. Okay.
Should SmackDown be an extra hour?
No.
Why?
I think what makes it great is that they have the 2 hours to fit everything they have to fit in, and they don't waste time. Because I feel like that's what's wrong with Raw. Because they have so much time, they have to find things to draw it out a little bit more. So there's more talking and more promos and what have you, instead of adding in matches. Where I feel like on SmackDown, they don't have the time and luxury for promos for every other person. It's just like promo, matches, maybe another promo or two throughout the night, and it just fits them. I miss Raw being 2 hours because most of the time Raw feels like it's just how many commercials do we see in one match? Like we see two commercials in one match, one before it. Like it's just too much.
So I disagree, and I know a lot of people agree with you. I actually like that Raw is 3 hours. I love, not to say you don't love wrestling or no one else does, but I like the fact that it's 3 hours, and I would prefer SmackDown to be 3 hours too, just if it had better writing. I think SmackDown would still do well with an extra hour just for the simple fact that they have better writers. So it wouldn't be a whole lot of fluff, whereas Raw is just a whole lot of whatever. Because again, it just comes down to the total product, to the whole product. Like, there's so many people that can get pushed and get different storylines, but we limit the same people. For example, I understand. I see Ty Dillinger's kind of doing the whole thing with R-Truth and.
Trying to catch
there's
Carmella.
and there's something possibly going on with R-Truth eventually to face Shinsuke. Where does that leave Ty? I don't know, but you're seeing him more and more on TV. But it goes back down what you said with earlier about the bar, right? We've seen them, right? So when's the last time we see the Colognes, right? So they could probably face someone. You know what I mean? I think there's different superstars that can benefit for an extra hour, and I also think SmackDown would execute that better. Raw could do better if they just had better writers. Again, especially Raw has a more stacked lineup, right? So I feel like 3 hours. I'm sorry?
I said allegedly.
They do. All the people that are on Raw, it's a more stacked roster. It is.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's a better product.
That's all I was getting to, like, the wrestlers in terms of, like...
It's in regards to roster, there's more superstars.
People, yeah.
Exactly. So there's a lot that could... Obviously, we talk about this all the time, and we could probably get into a debate discussion in the next couple of weeks. How do you fix Raw, even though I think we did that. But you can utilize all the time that you have if it was executed properly. But I agree. I agree. I mean, I feel that SmackDown should have an extra hour.
I think, again, I feel like they do well with what they have. Even when they commercial breaks, they still let you see the match going on, like in picture kind of situation.
I get that.
And,
that I don't care for because it never gets my attention. But it goes back to your point earlier with the tag teams. If we haven't seen certain people, a third hour would allow you to showcase those people.
And I can see that, but if they're gonna do an extra hour and they're gonna keep it the way they've been doing it and not fluff it like Raw, sure. But knowing them, that extra hour is an extra way to get
correct,
revenue.
and that
like,
I get.
That's why I'm like, no, I don't trust them to do it the right way.
Correct, and I get that, but it goes down to like when you see New Japan and it goes on for hours, they execute it properly,
right?
Because of just matches. It's not just promos and silly segments. But it's match after match after match and good matches after good match. But it goes on for a million years, right? It's possible. Just get the proper writers and creative to execute it properly. I'm starting to get hot again. It's always at the
tail end of it.
Yeah, we just burn it up.
So you brought up New Japan.
Burn it down.
Burn it down. So, you brought up New Japan, right?
Yeah.
Would you be willing to see the WWE do something like them, whereas they do the conferences after the match is over? Do you think that would be better for their product?
No.
No?
No, because WWE is built on promos and speaking to the crowd during the show, not and after. That's their...
I'm not saying completely, but for them, like, to cut down on promo after promo after promo.
No.
No?
You?
I don't know. I don't think they'll be able to pull it off.
I don't think they'll be able to pull it off. That's
Because
why I don't want to see that.
They didn't even want to let talking smack happen. So it's like...
In that realm, I would like that. But, like, just conferences, like, reporters asking them questions, because I feel like it's gonna be it's gonna be silly.
Yeah,
and it's not gonna make it believable.
They're not gonna let the reporters ask real questions like they want to.
Exactly.
Whereas New Japan, they let their reporters rock.
Exactly. So I don't think they'll execute that too well. I think they should keep. I like promos and stuff like that. Honestly, I do. It's just it hasn't been good.
Yeah.
Because again, the Attitude Era. Yeah.
Yeah. Different time.
So, yeah. So that's our show?
That's our show.
Do you have anything else to say? Because you... Oh.
Yeah, I do have something else to say.
I know you don't.
If you want to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, make sure you follow us on our regular... Go ahead. If you want to follow us on our regular Instagram, you can follow us at The Mixed Tag Show or on our personals at
Miss Jenna Baby, BAYBEE.
Or at Blue Magic Grind, spelled how it sound. Make sure you click on the links wherever they are located. YouTube at the bottom, or you can go into our bios, go to the WWE shop, copy some merch, help us out to pay the bills.
And we'll see next week what the draft standings are.
Yeah, and I'll give you an update on All In. Make sure you follow me for some updates for that
I
too.
don't think we can. No.
Yeah. All In is a.
Well, no, I don't. We don't care with like you.
No, I have great seats. You're gonna want to see where I'm sitting at.
Well, you did get good footage for Takeover.
Yeah.
Right, and then the whole.
Got 2 viral videos.
Yeah.
That's when you was hot.
We were hot at SummerSlam week.
At the Mixed Tag Show. Follow us. And on that note.
Alrighty.
Always kicking me. Stop kicking me.
It's the Mixed Tag Show. Mixed Tag Show. With Jenna and Blue. Damn.